Yeah.
Kim Kardashian.
You need to embody
Kim
like
Kardashian.
a hunched over woman that hasn't worn any sunscreen ever in her life, still probably gets her hair dyed, even though we all know that that's not her natural hair color. She smokes cigarettes and she can drink Coors Light like nobody's fucking business.
So my girlfriend in 10 years.
Yeah. Hot.
I hope you're listening.
Welcome to Breaking Takes, everybody.
Welcome to Breaking Takes.
I want to say what episode number it is, but I don't remember. And that's not...
This is 6. This is...
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think this is 6.
I count them in post-production when I edit them, but because we pre-record, spoiler alert, sorry people, we're
only a few, we're 2-3 weeks ahead.
Subscribe and stuff, and maybe we can start doing things more timely.
100%.
For now, we have to record in advance a little bit. So I lost count, and I was like, I keep wanting to say, welcome to Breaking Takes episode
Welcome to Breaking
6.
Takes episode 6. And if we're wrong, fucking deal with it.
Yeah, with Zach and Sam.
Yes.
That's me.
That's the first one is me.
Yeah.
I'm
or
Zach.
I mean, we kind of look alike. We could swap places.
We could, yeah. If I get my hair cut, you have a little bit of the Bieber-ish flip in front. If I stopped slicking it back and got it cut, we could easily. I'll have the Orioles jersey next week.
Yeah. Well, you need to shave as well because I don't think I can work that up.
Yeah, and I have more of a pouch than you, so I could lose like 30 pounds.
I don't know about that. You look fit. Fit as a fiddle.
Yeah, but this won't go away. I hope.
Well, it's these seltzers. That's okay. We like a little bit of that.
We'll measure one. We'll put it on the. I just opened the Supercast account for the premium episodes.
Wonderful.
breakingtakes.supercast.com, and we'll talk more about that at the end. But we'll release premium episodes there. And when we get a bunch of subscribers, we'll measure our pouches with the ruler and compare them and put that up there.
Okay.
See what the people think.
Great.
That'll be their reward for subscribing. We'll probably get everyone unsubscribing when we do that.
Like, we don't want to know.
But I could lead off this week if
sure.
So the story, the headline says it all, as they usually do on like these New York Post style articles. The title is "A Maryland Man Steals Forklift from Lowe's and Fatally Mows Down Woman at Home Depot," authorities say. So I like how they added the authorities say at the end.
We're not sure
this isn't
entirely
confirmed, but like we think this is what happened. Bryce Caleb Timothy Brown, 20 of
That's my
Waldorf.
Dad.
Oh my God. He was track his location.
For any new listeners, I'm from Maryland, so I might know this.
It could be your dad. Does your dad know how to operate a forklift?
And I'm sure he does. Yes.
It could be him. You should check in with him to see if he's in jail right now.
Yeah.
He's trying to call you.
I was like, so that's why I've been getting those weird phone calls that start with, "This is a call from Maryland State Prison."
You never.
I didn't put it together.
Yeah, you're like, that's weird. My dad has like a weird answering machine, but it starts at the beginning of the call. I wonder what that is. Like, how do you set that up?
Boomers. What can you do?
So Bryce Caleb Timothy Brown, 20 of Waldorf, is charged with first-degree murder, accused of killing 73-year-old Gloristine Pinkney. A Maryland man was charged with first-degree murder after allegedly stealing a forklift from a Lowe's home improvement store and then running over a woman with it in the nearby parking lot of a Home Depot. Again, authorities said on Monday. This sounds absolutely gruesome. It is male on female violence. So like naturally the first question that you ask in a man on woman violent situation is like, what was she wearing?
So and he was
what was she?
He meant to run her over. Was this a hate crime? Or was this he just drunkenly ran over someone?
We'll find out. But I
what
want
was she
I want to
wearing?
know what was she wearing because
That
like
muumuu was probably hiked up
she
way
could
too
she
far.
could have been asking for this guy to run her over with a forklift in a Home Depot parking lot.
Stupid.
It's
You need to make sure you're wearing your ankle length muumuus out if you go to Home Depot.
100%.
Everybody knows that.
Yeah, like if you're going out and you're dressed like a thought, some guy could ask you out, could buy you a drink, or could run you over with a construction type vehicle. That is just, as a woman, that's something that you have to prepare for
You take
and
those
adjust your
risks.
behavior.
Mm-hmm.
So right now, we'll see what happens, but the officers responded to a report of burglary and theft in progress at Lowe's at about 12:40 a.m. Sunday. The Charles County Sheriff's Office said in a statement on Facebook, the suspect, Bryce Caleb Timothy Brown, 20, of Waldorf, broke into the business, stole a forklift, and rammed it through the rear gates, according to the sheriff's office. Brown then drove the forklift to a Home Depot, which is about half a mile northeast of Lowe's, where he rammed a vehicle in the store's parking lot. Inside of that vehicle, the sheriff's office said, was a sleeping Glorstein Pinkney, 73, of Waldorf, whom Brown did not know. Pinkney woke up, got out of the car, began running away. Brown followed her, struck her with the forklift, ran over her, and then stole the victim's car and fled.
Fucked up.
So normally, I would say this was a case of a crazy guy stealing a forklift, running over an innocent old woman. She was waiting in the parking lot, maybe taking a nap, maybe just chilling in her car. It says she was sleeping, so I assume
She just
like,
nodded
yeah,
off.
taking a nap. And she was parked, so nothing wrong with that. Sometimes you just get into a parking lot. And
Better to park your car and nod off than nod off while you're driving.
But the time, 12:40 a.m., makes me suspicious of what the woman was there for. Like, was she trying to execute a drug deal? Was this a drug deal gone wrong?
Yeah.
Like, the guy was trying to sell her drugs. Something happened with them. Maybe she locked her car, was trying to flee away, and it was reported that she fell asleep. And this guy was like, fuck this bitch. I'm going to break in, steal a forklift, and give her what she deserves.
I also want to know, like, did he work at this Lowe's? How did he know how to get in there and get that forklift?
It doesn't say that he worked at the Lowe's,
But
as
he
far
knew.
as I know. But
He went in with such a mission to go in there and just GTA this forklift.
so I assume you need keys for a forklift.
Yeah.
Which is like, yeah, that is a
So
good point.
I'm like, okay, because at first, before I knew the time, I was like, oh, did he just Grand Theft Auto, like, pull somebody out of this forklift and take it? But it happened in the middle of the night, so Home Depot was closed.
Yeah. 12:40 a.m. I imagine it doesn't say
There's
anywhere
more to
that,
this story.
It doesn't say he's a Lowe's or a Home Depot employee, but I assume like maybe you don't need a key, or maybe like the key is left in the forklift, but it wasn't
Perhaps.
supposed to be left in the
Yeah.
forklift. But he like broke in the rear gates. It says, got the forklift, wasn't an employee, and this woman was just sleeping at 12:40 a.m. in the parking lot, which is suspicious. But I was thinking, like, imagine being a 73-year-old woman sleeping in your car in Lowe's, and like there's no bad faith, or it's not like a fishy situation. You just like you pulled up to a Lowe's, you're ready to go inside, maybe you take a little nap, put on some tunes, what does a 73-year-old woman listen to? Frank Sinatra,
Yeah.
the
Sounds about
Beach
right.
Boys, just like something in the background to fall asleep. And then you wake up with a forklift ripping your car to shreds.
Yeah, that's pretty scary.
Yeah.
Depending on what medication she was on. I mean, who knows if she knew this was reality or not.
Yeah. Like it took him, he had to back up 3 or 4 times because she popped a Xanax and she was like super passed out. And so this dude's like banging against the car. And then on the 4th one, she's like, oh Lordy, What is going on?
It's
This man's in a forklift.
this sentence here basically, so she wakes up to him ramming the car.
Yeah.
And then she gets out and runs away and he mows her down.
Yeah.
That is brutal.
Mows her down. So in all
He
fairness,
followed her and ran. They didn't. I actually threw that word in there.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna be honest. But they say here in this article, Brown allegedly followed her and ran her over with the forklift. Also, how slow do you have to run?
yeah, it's
She's 73, but I'm like, you couldn't bob and weave a little bit.
It's like one of those situations in a movie where someone's sprinting away and you think they're being chased by something that's going super fast, and then you look back and it's a guy driving a toy car and they're just like inching and inching towards the victim. But she's 73, so like her sprint is probably a brisk walk. And I think forklift could probably go, I'm saying max 20 miles per hour.
They're
maybe
kind
15.
of speedy.
Yeah.
I think I've seen them in action and they're speedier than you would think, but I think I could outrun. I think I could live if a forklift was coming after me.
Yeah.
I think I could probably live. Like, just let me just run where maybe there's like a tree or something that's going to get in the way.
I wonder, because there's security guards at Lowe's, Home Depot, parking lot security
There
guards, just
should
like
be.
for this shit. I wonder, like, if the security guard that night just decided to pop an edible, like nothing usually happens on the night shift, and he's just 50 milligrams deep, kind of like wakes up out of his nap, looks at the parking lot, and he sees a guy in a forklift chasing a 73-year-old woman, and he's just like, this isn't actually happening. I'm just gonna pass the fuck out. Like, he thought he was hallucinating the entire thing. And just like, I want to know what was running through the security guard's head when he woke up and just like kind of glanced and was like, nah, that's fine. And just fucking goes back to passing out.
I will say that Waldorf, Maryland specifically is like the redheaded stepchild of Maryland. Like,
really?
Yeah. Waldorf, nothing good has come out of Waldorf except for Benji and Joel Madden from Good Charlotte. They're from Waldorf.
I thought Waldorf was fancy because of the Waldorf Hotel.
No.
I thought like that Waldorf was like the original
No.
Waldorf Hotel, and then they expanded.
Waldorf, the town, might have dreamed that they were affiliated, but I do not think they're affiliated. But Waldorf is like, I don't even know if I've ever been to Waldorf, and I've been to like most nooks and crannies in Maryland, but there's nothing there. It's
so this wouldn't be the cover story of Waldorf the next day. There'd be like 5 other things weird.
There might, seriously.
This is page 6 Waldorf.
Yeah, but in Baltimore news, they would run this all over the papers.
Yeah,
so like we gotta point the finger at Waldorf.
In all fairness to the guy driving the forklift and chasing her down, she was double parked.
Yeah. What a stupid idiot.
Stupid bitch. I like reading this story. I was on the woman's side until I found out she was double parked, and I was like, electric chair.
You deserve it now.
Yeah.
You're double parked. You're wearing a mini skirt.
Yeah.
I mean, you really are asking for this.
And I understand the rage because, like, this guy's looking for a place to park. Also, that's why he was there probably. For the drug deal that was going to go down at 12:40 a.m. in the morning at Lowe's. He was probably looking to, like, pull up beside her. Maybe there's some other construction vehicles in the parking lot. Like, just imagine the rage you would have in a full parking lot. Like, close your eyes and picture yourself driving through a parking lot. There's no spots. You see one in the distance. Like, you see that little opening and you're at an angle where you can't tell if anyone's in it. And you roll up and you finally get there. You're about to turn in and it's just someone parked in it a third over the line and giving you absolutely zero room. That rage in the moment.
Yeah.
100% understand where this guy's coming from. I think he saw that, immediately got into the forklift and was like, somebody's got to start doing something. Tickets are not enough. I need to start enforcing the law. eye for an eye,
One by
code of
one.
Hammurabi. Yes.
He's still on the loose, guys.
Still
you
still on
see
the
a
loose.
forklift
Still-
just
And
charging down the highway.
And
Get out of
look,
the way.
if she survived, I bet you she would never double park again. She would have learned her lesson.
Do you think she should have just stayed in the car? I don't know.
No.
I don't think my theory is that this guy didn't know there was someone in the car. I think the drug deal already happened. I think he already had some drugs perhaps in his system. And he was just charging, like he just wanted to ram some things.
This did strike me as a PCP type activity.
Yeah. And I understand sometimes you just want to crash something.
Yeah.
You just want to just like charge into a car with a forklift.
I'm just trying to think if I'm taking a nap in the driver's seat, my seat's leaned back, the forklift comes at me, and it's got those two prongs.
Yeah.
It probably goes through
Yeah.
my window, each window, passenger seat and back seat. Driver's seat and back seat on the driver's side. And because I'm reclined back, it goes over my head. And then I wake up and I see two metal prongs above me, and I look to my left and I see a fucking forklift. Do I recline all the way back and try to like get to the back seat and go out of the car? Do I freeze? Do I stay in the car and try to like ball up somehow? Because like this guy might know how to move the fork and like lower it and take my head off. Yeah, because if he started it, like he knows how to finish it. So I don't know honestly what I would do in that situation. I like to think in my head. I'll like sometimes I'll play the movie in my head, especially if a shooting happened recently that I read about, and I'm sitting in a movie theater and I'm just going through in my mind like
what do I do?
Like,
where do I go?
Something could happen in this screening of Oppenheimer. Like when the bomb goes off in Oppenheimer, that would be the perfect time for some guy to blast an AR-15.
I'm gonna pretend to be dead. That's always been my thing. Like, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to go crawl to another victim and like wipe their blood on me and just like play dead.
Do you walk around with ketchup packets in your pocket just in case? Where you could just be like,
I should start, but no. Now I'm gonna start carrying around ketchup packets everywhere I go.
Can you imagine the guy sees you before he starts shooting and he just like takes a swipe
ketchup.
of it? He's like, what the fuck?
So why does it smell like ketchup in here?
And he just lets you go because he's like, honestly, I'm impressed with the preparation. There's no ketchup in this movie theater, and you were able to,
worth a shot, right?
Yeah.
Maybe they have a sense of humor.
Yeah.
You never know. I'll do whatever. I'll crack a joke if it gets
that
me.
That
if
is,
I can survive.
That is the one thing that mass shooters are known for. It's their incredible sense of humor.
Yeah, they're wonderful personalities.
Exactly.
Very charming individuals.
100%. I think you'd be fine. I see the movie in my head is like, I see him. We're sitting in the back. He starts to rush in. I see the flashes, and my instinct takes over that I have to protect who I'm with. And as he's focusing on other people, I just bum rush him, take him out, get on top of him, get the ankle gun, because I know he probably has like a gun or a knife at his ankle, and I just like start fucking like throwing elbows, grab his gun, pump 2 rounds into him. But in reality, 2.5 milliseconds after I start that rush, he probably sees me and just turns and goes, "Oh, bang, bang." And I'm just dead.
But you'll die a hero, Zach.
Yeah, but
that time I would have ran out of the theater while you did that.
Yeah.
So you would have saved my life.
And you could record a podcast about it and make fun of me, because it'll definitely be
absolutely. We have to. Please make fun of me. I mean, we can't make fun of Miss Glorenstein Pinkney.
Yeah.
Wonderful name, by the way. And please rest in peace. Sorry to your family. This is a crazy way to die, but it's a very exciting way to die.
Glorstein is a badass name.
It's crazy. Yeah. It's awesome. And I feel like, if you're old and you're going to die soon eventually, it's kind of like better than a heart attack, right?
It's a badass way to go out.
At least you got a news story.
So do you not have forks at the funeral to not trigger people for how she died? Like
no forks, please.
If her husband's still alive, he's like eating the fucking cake or whatever appetizers out. Like he takes
spoons only.
Yeah, they have like one of those mini forks to take like a crab cake or something, and he looks at the fork and he just starts just uncontrollably weeping
Probably.
because he thinks of the forklift going through his
Never going to look
wife's
at a
body.
forklift the same ever again.
Yeah.
Or a Lowe's or Home Depot. Now you can't even go to Lowe's or Home Depot.
You can't do any construction on your house ever again.
No.
Because you're going to see the forklift. You can't even drive through a construction zone.
You're traumatized.
You're limited. So if one of the things that I was wondering is because it sounds like there were construction vehicles out in Lowe's, because sometimes you'll pull up to the parking lot, and if someone like if they're doing a mass redo of their house, like I think you can lease vehicles or something from Home Depot or Lowe's. So like they had a bunch of construction vehicles out, which would make it a construction zone. So in that case, if you murder someone in a construction zone, do you get fined double for the murder? Is the judge
I think
like
so.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
It needs to be a standard.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't deserve a double charged ticket, double the fine for going over the speed limit, and then this guy doesn't get 2 charges of murder.
Could you make the case that he was just speeding and incidentally killed the woman that was parked in the path, since she was double parked, and then in court he just gets a speeding ticket doubled for the construction zone, and he just walks out?
I think vehicular manslaughter might still be on the table.
Okay.
Because either way, she died.
She did die.
Whether it was an accident or not,
Yeah.
she's dead.
Someone has to pay.
Yeah, and it's going to be that guy.
Do you think it could have been corporate espionage, like
Yeah.
between Lowe's and Home Depot? Because he
Yes.
did go to the Lowe's parking lot and then come back to the Home Depot
I was
parking
thinking
lot.
that too. I was like, imagine him just driving like across the street,
Yeah.
like to the Lowe's or to the Home Depot.
Yeah.
How close were they together? Where there's a Lowe's, there's usually a Home Depot,
Yeah.
except for New York City.
Yeah. Here they have their own weird, like, mom and pop construction shops. It'd be very hard. Like, you'd get a parking ticket in New York City with a forklift before you made it anywhere.
Yeah.
You can't park anywhere.
Definitely
parking.
can't be your method of murdering people.
Yeah.
But
So what were you looking at?
well, no,
this
I
week?
was gonna say that this lady might have survived this if she had on Skim's bodysuit. So Kim Kardashian.
Yeah, there she is.
Oh, I'm sorry. I meant Kim Kardashian.
Yeah.
I love saying Kim Kardashian.
That's our girl.
Oh, well, there
What
went your
was-
coaster.
That's
What?
fine. Just let it.
Why are your coasters like up by my elbow though?
That is my fault. That was so
God.
yesterday I was doing another podcast, just quick side tangent, and for some reason, I guess the humidity or something was high in the apartment because I had the window open. They just kept sticking to the drink. So like my
gotcha.
guest would lift it up and it would fall every time.
Yeah.
But he was like too embarrassed to not use the coaster, and after the 3rd time I was like,
Just
stop. Fucking stop using the coaster. It's
These
fine.
aren't that expensive, these
Yeah.
tables, but thank you. But
100%.
anyways, so Miss Gorenstein Pinkney may have survived the forklift attack had she been wearing a Kim Kardashian Skims bodysuit.
Explain.
Yes. So from LA Times, the headline is that a woman claims Kim Kardashian Skims, which if you don't know her brand Skims, it's like a shapewear.
Yeah.
It's like they're like bodysuits, underwear, shapewear type.
I've definitely.
stuff.
Does it make you? It makes you skinnier. Like you wear it underneath clothes, or is it meant to wear on the outside?
Yes, it's meant. I mean, Miss Kim Kardashian wears it for just regular day outfits. I think it can be worn as both, but yeah, I think it's meant to be worn under clothes, and yeah, it can be kind of like Spanx. But it's meant to just like make you look hot, I guess, as a woman.
It's like a skinny full body suit.
Yeah, and they're kind of just like, they look like a one-piece bathing suit, a lot of them. They're like, so they keep everything tight, real tight.
I could use one.
You could use one.
For my pouch. I
I'll
could
get
wear
you
it on the
one.
next podcast.
Yeah, I would love that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Kim Kardashian kept me from bleeding out, shooting victim says. So yes, this bodysuit saved her life after being shot 4 times.
Really?
And she claims that it was because it was so tight, it kept like her blood in.
Mm. That is fucking insane, actually.
It's very insane. Best PR, Kim. I mean, Kim is the queen of PR, and she couldn't even have dreamt this up.
Do you think Kim set it up? Is that who's that coming from?
That was coming from me.
Oh, maybe that was Instagram listening to us to try to advertise.
I've
Skim
never
suit.
heard anything from my Apple Watch ever before. And this is the first time that she just chimed in.
I didn't even know Apple Watches could talk. That's insane.
That's why I was looking at you. I'm like, where was that from? So if you heard any our friend Suri talking, that was my Apple Watch that decided to tune in.
So I'm thinking, like, because Kim is such a PR wizard and she's willing to go to any lengths possible, do you think this was a publicly planned stunt? Like, this woman's a stunt woman. She was wearing the Skim suit, and Kim was like, listen, we're going to pump a few rounds into you. It's not going to be a full clip. It's just going to be
Kris
3 or 4.
Jenner just drives by.
Yeah, 100%.
And doesn't drive by.
Just
Shoots
a
4 times.
A quick drive-by. Not like one of these drawn-out ones where they go like, just like a little like pop, pop, pop. And you're going to survive.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't, your family will be compensated handsomely.
Yes.
And this is going to be a huge story. You'll blow up. Skims will blow up. That's that. That's the first thing that popped into my head.
Perhaps. I mean, I want this girl to get paid. So this happened in Kansas City, Missouri, which Missouri is like crime-ridden people.
Yeah.
Middle America. I actually don't know where Missouri is. Is it in the middle?
Kansas City, Missouri.
Yeah, it's in the middle of America.
That's like middle flyover state America. Yeah.
God forbid. But she said, Kim Kardashian saved my life. This New Year's, I was shot 4 times. The night I got shot, under my dress, I was wearing a Skims shaping bodysuit. It was so tight on me that it literally kept me from bleeding out. And she went on TikTok and was just like ranting and raving about this bodysuit and Skims. And I'm thinking like, this could be, Kim Kardashian could be the hero that we need. I mean, we could make this a military expense.
Yes.
all military professionals have to wear Skims. Like, they're bulletproof Skims now.
100%. I could like imagine just clearing houses in Iraq and like they don't even know what to do. Like the soldiers will bust in with AK-47 night vision goggles and Skims. Yeah. And terrorists will just be like, what? And like there would be like 5 seconds of confusion, and boom, you just blast them away.
Not only do you look hot because you're wearing your Skims, but you're also bulletproof, basically.
Do gang members start rolling around in Skims?
I think we should all maybe start wearing Skims.
Yeah,
we need to be safer on the streets.
Because those are the two audiences that would be interested in them for sure. Is crime-ridden neighborhoods. So if you're in a gang, for sure. If you're susceptible to the drive-by, you're doing drug deals, and also soldiers if they're clearing houses, just doing operations overseas. I think this could, because like usually you think of the gang and the military as 2 opposing forces, and like the gang is kind of like the rogue gun operations, and the military is like the legit thing, and they never really combine. Like they seem they don't really cross paths with each other. This could be the thing that like brings our gangs and our military together, and like the best of both worlds. You have everyone wearing Skims.
Yeah, I would love to see a headline from Joe Biden being like, taxpayers, get ready. Because we need to invest more into our military, specifically on Skims. But it's super funny because she said the girl that got shot, she says, I bought it and it finally delivered to my house. This shooting happened on New Year's Eve. I guess she's just now ready to talk about it. But she was so excited to wear it. She said she should have sized up. So keep this in mind. It was super tight because it was actually a little bit small. The bullets are still there because it's more of a risk to take them out.
But, they're still in her body.
Yeah.
Jesus.
She's badass. You want to know what the worst part is, though? This poor victim, she says that all Skims did was give her a full refund and a discount for future purchases. This woman has single-handedly changed your whole brand identity to just like now it's full militant
She
life-saving
introduced
garment.
Yeah, she introduced Skims to the military industrial complex.
Yeah.
And all they're giving her is a gift card, basically.
Yes. Can you believe that? She got shot 4 times. She can't, Miss Kim Kardashian can't even cut her a check.
They cut her a check, but then also, just like thinking from Kim Kardashian's point of view, to start a Keeping Up with the Kardashians, but in a crime-ridden neighborhood. So like you're purposely putting like her, Chloe, Sean, what's like I don't even know.
You don't
like,
wait. You don't know. Wait, how many of the Kardashians?
Kourtney, Chloe, Kim.
That's yes.
And
that's
Caitlyn, but not a Kardashian, is related, married in Caitlyn Jenner.
You're doing a good job.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's
Chris.
Yes. You're missing. You're technically missing one more Kardashian that is a male.
Kanye.
No. But I mean the brother,
the son or the daughter, North Star. I don't know. They're all in Kevlar, every single one.
I am
baby
laughing
Kevlar
so
suits.
hard.
Baby Kevlar suits.
North Star.
Yes.
Ah, gosh, I love that. It's there's Kourtney, Kim, Chloe, and then there's Rob Kardashian, which no one has seen or heard from in 1,000 years.
Okay.
And then there's the Jenner daughters, which are Kendall and Kylie.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
I know.
I know you really needed that information because
I did. So I think they get this entire family. You buy a crack house in, let's say Southside Los Angeles, or no, is it Southside Chicago or Southside Los Angeles? I think it's
Kanye's from Chicago.
Southside Chicago.
We can take him back to Chicago.
100%. You buy a crack den in Southside Chicago. You explain to everyone in the crack den what's going on, just to be ethical about it. Like you don't gentrify it. You just like you move in with them. They stay there too, and then each Kardashian goes on missions each day wearing the skim suit, and hopefully when the drive-bys and shootings inevitably go down, that is the ultimate marketing if a Kardashian ends up getting shot, and it saves their life as well.
It might have already been in the plan because Kim is kind of street. I mean, she did get held at like gunpoint. And remember that when
in Paris, right?
Yeah. And they like held her hostage and stole all her jewelry. And it was like a real situation. Like they literally came in with guns and she was like horrified and held hostage. She might have been like tied up. I don't even know. She's kind of street. Like this might have been the plan the whole time.
Didn't she shoot the people who broke in, but they were wearing Skims, so it just like bounced off of them? I remember reading that, and that was where she got the idea. She's like, "Wait, is that Skims?" And then just fucking like ricocheted off, and she's like, "Oh my god, that's a great business idea." As they're taping her mouth,
and I feel like Skims already fits with the military because Kim Kardashian, like everything she does is like beige. Yeah. Beige, gray. It's already camouflage colors.
Will blend in perfectly with the sand.
Exactly.
100%.
In the Middle East, I guess. That's where we'll have to come up with something else.
So do you have the Skims with shorts or pants over it? Or do you just let the soldiers just rock the bulge in the camel toe as they're clearing houses?
I was hoping for that.
You just have like some badass soldier chick just like pound down the door. She like in that stance, and you distract the terrorists. They're like, "Oh my god, I can see her vagina," and she's like they just get lit up.
I think it would work.
Yeah.
I care about what works.
Yeah.
I don't care about...
It's the better option. You want as much surprise as possible. So the longer you could keep them distracted, the better off you'll be.
Exactly right. So yeah, I would love that if we could change our military uniforms to Skims, full bulge, full camel toe. They need to be super tight. Remember, they need to be a size under what you actually are.
Yeah, that's the thing. So I would be a medium then, because I'm usually a large.
Oh yeah.
But I have to wear
like
medium
extra
skin.
Large for sure.
So wait, you said it had to be tighter though, one size under.
Yeah, so you have to be like super small.
Okay. So, so I would do medium for skims if
Yeah.
I'm a large normally.
Yeah.
Okay. That could work.
Yeah.
I could do that.
Yeah, we're gonna try it out. Subscribe to
Yeah.
the to the Patreon.
So this weekend, we were saying before the podcast that I'm relatively free this weekend. I'm chill. I'm gonna throw on my skims. I'm gonna take the subway to East New York, and I'm just gonna walk around with a briefcase full of cash and see what happens.
I think you'll look great.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm ready to see you rock the skims.
Yeah. I think it'll be awkward though, like when I try to catch the bullet, just like for fun, when someone shoots me in the stomach, and I'm just like, there's a Key and Peele skit where there's this like retired hitman, and he gets shot in the stomach, and he thinks he still has the speed of his old days where he was catching bullets, and so he tries to catch the bullet that the guy shoots him in the stomach with, and he's like, please shoot me, like I want to show you. And he like clasps his hands together, and it obviously went through because the blood just starts dripping down his stomach. And he's just like, are you okay? And the guy's like, yes, it didn't go in. And there's just like streaks of blood dripping down. I feel like because I know I'm invincible with the skim suit, I'm just going to try to like clamp the bullet, but then just like keep a straight face as the bullet tears through my skim suit. So it'll be interesting. We'll see what happens. Maybe I'll make some friends. I could do, if Kim pays me, I'll do some marketing in East New York, because it is per murder capita the most dangerous part of New York. So I could, get in with the gangs, give them some skim suits, make some connections for some wild podcasts, and I think it'll be good. I'm glad this is a thing.
Yeah, in your closet, it'll just be like, as you go through your closet, it's just different shades of beige.
100%.
And you'll look nude because your hair is kind of beige.
Yeah, that is true.
So this is even better.
I wonder, because it's so durable, have there been people wearing skims that have tried to commit suicide, but like they just like bounced off the ground, like they jumped off of a building and like they were fine, and they're like, what the hell is this? Like, I thought, like, how am I perfectly fine? I just jumped out 9 stories, and the skim suit just like bounces off the ground, or like they try to shoot themselves in the chest with a shotgun, and they're just like,
they have to just keep trying to kill themselves as often as they can. Hit by a car, you just bounce like a pebble. Yeah. You try to drown, you just float back up.
100%.
Gosh. Kim Kardashian, thank you.
What accent is that?
I think like a 50-year-old woman that smokes Marlboro Reds.
Kim Kardashian.
Kim Kardashian.
Yeah, there it is, the gravel.
Yeah, I got to use the throat a little bit.
I love that. I'm just going to take a piss, and then we'll get into the next thing. Hey guys, this is a quick break in the episode to tell you about Breaking Takes Premium, where we will be dropping monthly bonus episodes and allowing you to become part of the show.
For $5 a month, you will get access to bonus episodes, that's audio and video, be able to suggest topics and stories for us to give our takes, AMAs, minisodes, and more.
Head to breakingtakes.supercast.com to sign up for Breaking Takes Premium today. That's breakingtakes.supercast.com for full bonus access.
And if you aren't able to sign up for premium, that's okay, because if you still want to support the show, you can rate us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Seriously, the more ratings are such a big help when it comes to new listeners discovering the show, because it tells the algorithm to push us higher in the search results. So the more reviews and ratings, the better.
We'll also read the comments that you leave on Apple Podcasts and give you a shout out at the end of each show. So get creative, leave us some badass comments. Now, back to the episode.
And we're back.
We are back.
Kim Kardashian.
Kim Kardashian.
Kim Kardashian, the hero we need.
I feel like you're doing a character that I recognize, but I forget the name of the character.
Yeah,
like the accent.
I have no idea. I will say I don't know where that originated, the Kim Kardashian, but I heard a fellow Sam on another podcast that I listened to, the H3 podcast. It's actually more of like a vodcast. But she jokingly...
What is that, video podcast?
Yeah, because it's people... Ethan Klein was a YouTuber, but now like transitioned into podcasting.
Got it.
So it's more of a visual podcast. I would love to do one eventually. I think that'd be really fun because then we could be more like with all of the articles that we talk about and just like videos. Like basically they go live most of the time, but it's on YouTube. So you can actually like play everything.
Got it.
Like, and people can see. However, and then they do put it on Spotify as like a podcast. But in my opinion, like that particular vodcast, like you need to watch it because if you're just
have a
listening
screen up and they throw everything up there.
Yeah, like you watch their whole production, like say like Logan Paul and his podcast and like any other YouTuber podcast. So I think that would be really fun. But anyway, Sam from the H3 podcast, like she went Kim Kardashian and it was the funniest thing I ever heard. And now I'm just like, I'm going to take that because my name is also Sam and I feel that deep in my chest.
I do like that.
Yeah.
It feels, are you doing it from the back of the throat? I'm trying to.
Yeah.
Kim Kardashian.
You need to embody
Kim
like
Kardashian.
a hunched over woman that hasn't worn any sunscreen ever in her life. Still probably gets her hair dyed, even though we all know that that's not her natural hair color. She smokes cigarettes. And she can drink Coors Light like nobody's fucking business.
So my girlfriend in 10 years.
Yeah. Hot.
I hope you're listening. You're French, bitch.
Wow. I mean, listen, don't get me started.
I love it.
Whoa.
I love it.
Turn me on.
So speaking of sunscreen.
Yeah.
There is a Feng Shui consultant accused of launching a racist tirade at a pool party because we all know how much people love sunscreen at their local pool.
Yeah.
And this is actually going to be speaking of video podcast too, this is a video that I need to show you and we'll play this. Okay. We'll play the audio for sure. You'll get the deal. And then if you're watching this on YouTube, you get to see the actual video that we're about to play. So I'm going to pull this video up on my desktop and then we will
can't wait
talk about it.
Nothing gets my feng shui just right than being at a pool party and somebody going on a racist rant.
100%.
Love it.
So this is the Feng Shui consultant accused of launching a racist tirade at a pool party.
Okay, yes, I see. We're at the pool.
Here we go.
Yeah, it's true. You have a fob, 2 people. You have a fucking Mexican party in the pool. Trash. Oh yeah, you can't do that. You can't just record me.
We belong here. I'm so sorry.
Oh, you guys are such losers.
I'm so sorry.
Go back down to Denver.
Please, I don't. Yes.
You get the fuck out of here.
Yes.
I live here. I live here. Nowhere
so
where
sorry.
you ever came from, you
I'm so
fucking
sorry.
low class
This is
slime.
going watch, bitch.
Oh my God, it's so dumb, and you're wearing it at the pool, you idiots.
This is turning.
Yeah, you don't even know what Hermes
Get the
is.
police here now.
I have Hermes sandals on, bitch.
Oh yeah, and these? Hold on, wait, this is good. And these?
No.
You're nasty. No.
Damn.
Okay, so the first thing, she's like, obviously she's like Mexican, whatever, blah blah blah. The first thing that I noticed that was just like a weird thing to say, she said go back to Denver, which is not usually what you say when you're trying to be racist at someone who's Mexican. Like, go back to Denver, the whitest city in America.
Yeah, I was like, I didn't know Denver had a large Mexican population.
So they actually do. But that's like an insider Denver thing. So the first time I went to Denver, and I was just there this past weekend actually for a wedding, but there's like, I remember I was driving through, and this is 2017, and it was like, weed shop, taco shop, gas station, taco, like just a shit ton of places.
Hell yeah, my type of place.
100%. And I found out that basically all the Mexicans who don't come up to Texas will just go further north and settle in Denver. So there's like a very big Mexican population. So like, I got what she meant by saying go back to Denver, because she's probably saying like go back to the shitty part of Denver wherever you're from. But like if you're just listening to this video and you hear this woman say, "Go back to Denver," you're just like, huh, like white
Very
people
specific.
skiing, hiking, like sounds like a very like non-Mexican
Yeah.
city.
Wouldn't have put that together.
Yeah, so I would have thought like she sees people filming, like she knows millions of people are probably going to see this, like you might want to throw in a more just like a crowd pleasing racial slur in that situation, just like something that's going to garner like it would be like a stand-up comedian telling a super niche joke like on a Netflix special that millions of people are going to see, but like they're telling a joke about like that specific city. I felt like she would have saw the cameras and been like, all right, like let me break out my fucking like my top 5 Mexican slurs, but she was like apparently she just was not she wanted to be super specific in that moment. That like struck me. I was like, "Ow, that's like really local."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know, so was that where was the pool? Do you know, was it in Colorado somewhere? Was it in California?
So this is what it says. It says a white woman in Colorado
Okay.
who reportedly works as a Feng Shui interior design specialist has become the latest subject of a freak-out, racism-laden viral video. The video allegedly shows Blair Featherman, which is exactly the name that she looks like.
Yeah.
a Blair Featherman.
That name is made up. I mean, come on.
Yeah, 100%. She also works as an art consultant, which is also like the 2 jobs that you do when you're either living off your family or your husband and you don't actually have a real job. You're like a Feng Shui consultant and an art consultant.
Wedding planner.
She works like
There's
3
a lot
days a
you
month.
can,
Yeah.
you can lump in there.
She also works as an art consultant, launching racist insults at a Latino family using the pool at an apartment complex in the affluent Lakewood neighborhood. So I haven't been to Lakewood, but I guess it's in like, what's like a big, like a high class neighborhood in Manhattan, like Murray Hill or something like that. Gramercy, yeah. So they're in a top shelf neighborhood. She yells at the family, accusing them of having a, quote, fucking Mexican party at the pool.
Sounds fun.
Sounds really fun.
Did they bring tacos?
It sounds music, tequila,
Yeah.
guacamole, fucking sign me the fuck up.
Yeah.
And yeah, it shows a blonde woman in a bikini standing under a cabana screaming at her family. So what I want to convey is that screaming racial slurs is actually a big part of the Feng Shui process.
Okay.
That's what I understand, because I looked up the definition of Feng Shui, which is a system of laws considered to govern the spatial arrangement and orientation in relation to the flow of energy, which is qi, and whose favorable or unfavorable effects are taken into account when sitting and designing buildings. So technically, you could say she was trying to de-Mexicanize the spatial arrangement of the pool. So like a racist Feng Shui consultant, this is what their job, an example of the job, would look like. So like you could say she's a racist, but you can't say she's not doing her job in that moment. So at least we can say that.
Yeah, if you're really conservative and you would like to just make your trailer park so fitting for your mood, hire this lady.
100%.
Because she's going to expel any non-white demon that might be there.
100%. Yeah, if you're one of those white people who moves into a neighborhood and you start saying things like, there weren't as many of them here 4 years ago, hire this woman and she will drive out all of the minorities in your spatial arrangement through
Absolutely.
the process of feng shui racial slurs.
And she wears a bikini everywhere she goes.
100%.
That bikini, that was her work uniform.
Yeah,
actually.
That's
why. Like, that's where the Mexicans went wrong. Is
Yes.
that they didn't realize she was on the clock.
Yes, if she was wearing her name tag and her official, just like her official get up like a normal feng shui consultant, like, you know, one of those sketchy non-racist feng shui consultants, they would have been like, oh, she's doing her job. But because that is her work uniform, no matter if she's working in an apartment building.
Undercover.
Yeah, exactly. She's undercover by having zero cover with the bikini. I guess like technically she would be on the clock. She's doing the thing that she's supposed to do in that situation.
I bet business is just booming after that.
Yeah.
I can imagine. That's great. Great.
So
PR.
she did get a lot of things thrown at her on Twitter that were not business related because of this.
Interesting.
Because I was saying, like, guys, like, how could she be being attacked? Do you not see that this woman is just doing her job? Like, how do these Twitter users not see that? Yeah, and she put her Twitter on private, like all these things. It said she deleted it. Sorry, it says according to Miss Featherman's now deleted Twitter account, she runs a home decor company dedicated to feng shui and the cultivation of peaceful spatial energy.
No Mexicans allowed.
That is her bio, I assume, of her Twitter before it got deleted.
Do not bring a taco around that lady. She'll just fucking pop off.
I'm just imagining like someone goes to her website and they're like, oh, feng shui, like the husband is like, whatever, I'll give it a try, and like it's just like a couple that's very into the idea. They're like trying feng shui for the first time. You know, I've seen some home Netflix shows about it, about like improving the energy in your house, and they're just expecting like just like this very calm woman to walk in and be like,
yeah,
oh, we're just gonna try to flow the energy from here. We're gonna move this sofa over here. We're going to bring this cabinet over. Ah, yes, I feel the energy. Do you feel it? Do you feel it? And this woman walks in and just immediately she just starts like screaming N-bombs into every single room. And they're like, what is going on?
She's expelling it.
And they're like, the couple's like, wear white. Like, who is this directed as? And she's like, I just want to make sure that they don't come in here. I'm trying to keep them out.
I smell one.
Did you have a barbecue last week? She said. This is just precautionary.
There was somebody in here.
These are on the house. This is. I'm gonna need to check your closet real quick. I feel some dark energy coming from over here. I'm gonna need to get in there real quick just to make sure. This is just company procedure. And she has a southern accent even though she's from Denver.
No,
she just talks like that.
She has to have a southern accent.
Yeah, she talks like that. But I'm just like imagining just like the people who hire her, and just like this woman walks in on a tirade and they're just like, okay, this is not what I thought feng shui would be.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently screaming a barrage of racial epithets gets the energy better.
Yeah. She just white cultures everything. So there's just a lot of like country. You know when you go into someone's kitchen and it's like just a lot of stars and like chickens, like artwork. And then you go into the bathroom and it's super nautical.
Yeah.
That's basically what her feng shui is like all around the house is just country, nautical.
Yeah.
Expel any sign of culture. It must go.
Yeah.
I don't want to see any black artwork.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. Not in my feng shui.
You can't even have coffee.
No.
Nothing. You got to put milk in that coffee, according to her. Yeah.
No, don't come to my house and expect any culture.
My wardrobe would be fucked. I can't have any black
That's
colors
fine because
at
you're
all.
wearing Skims.
That's true. I can't. I gotta throw out all of my black skin.
Only
I'm a
beige.
pearl white and beige. She
Yeah,
might not
that's
even
true.
be okay with beige.
I
might
think
be
she
like.
would like beige
I think if it would have to
because
be.
it's like kind of white.
That's true. That's
It's
true. It
like
could be like
white
a
people's
tan,
skin tone.
tan white. Yeah, she could be okay with that.
No browns.
No, not even if it stops a bullet.
No.
Because according to her, you're
not
better
about
dead
that.
than
Yeah, it's
stopping
not
a bullet
about
with brown
that.
skins. Yeah.
You might as well die
Yeah.
than be a Mexican or be
Yeah.
black in an area that she's around because you don't want to ruin the feng shui. It's just not a good look, guys.
Yeah. Where did she train? That's what I want to know.
I don't
What
think
was
you
this?
train to do feng shui.
What do you do? Like, do you watch? I remember seeing.
Yeah, you watch a lot of
one-
Netflix and Home Improvement.
I was gonna say, I remember watching one show where a feng shui consultant came in, and there were no racial slurs involved, but there was not a lot going on. There was like she basically just moved furniture around and then charged them $17,000.
Oh my god.
And that was the episode, and I was like, alrighty.
That was the price tag.
It,
well,
it was something
okay.
absurd.
It was
Like,
something crazy.
I was like, oh my god, like, and the
you could have hired a TaskRabbit for like $50
her
to push your
consultancy
couch
was like,
around.
but like according to, there's like a feng shui map. Like,
Oh.
there's like, let me see if I can.
Probably like what? Like in correlation of like where your windows are,
it's
where
like
and you.
all this energy mapped out in the room. I'm trying to.
Wow. I just use the term feng shui when I don't like something in the room. Like I don't like when my girlfriend eats in the bedroom. Because I'm like, oh, this is ruining my feng shui.
So,
but I didn't know it was that serious.
So yeah, this is pretty similar to the thing that they were bringing up on the show. If you can't read it, I'll just read it out and for you guys listening. So like south, if you're pointing things towards the south, that is like the money, fame direction. South and southeast. Southwest and west is love and marriage and creativity. North and northwest is career and helpful people, and northeast and east is health and spiritual growth. So like on the show, I remember she was like aligning, like she walked into the room right away and she's like, like that couch has to go because it was a red couch. And then she was like, that has to go over there. This has to go. And then she's like showing the map to this couple that was super into it. And they're like, oh my God, like, thank you so much. Like, please take all our money. And she literally just rearranged a couple things and they handed her their credit card and were like, whatever you need to get for this room, just get it.
Wow.
So
great gig for that lady. Because meanwhile, you could have just looked that up and then got yourself like a compass.
Yeah.
And just readjusted
a
yourself.
feng shui compass.
It must be nice to have so much money or like space in your home that you can decide to like put your couch this way.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know anything about that life.
Yeah,
like my couch is where my couch has to be because I have no other place to put it.
I wonder like if I came in, if I hired a feng shui consultant and my girlfriend was black, I wonder if her head would explode, if she'd be like not able to actually decorate.
Don't come to my house.
Yeah, she's like whispering to me. She's like, I'm just letting you know, like something has to go, and like it's not the furniture. I'm like, what are you talking about?
I come back and like my girlfriend is nowhere to be found.
Yeah,
every article of hers gone.
Yeah, you hear like her, like moaning and screaming from the closet, and you're like, is that my? And she's like, don't worry, like I'll take care of it. You're like, what is your job again? Like, what is going on? Is this a get out situation? Like, I don't
Seems
understand.
like it.
Yeah, yeah, this is.
I just can't imagine. I'm trying to relax at the pool. I'm having a great time. And then this lady is just going off because what? A little cantina, a little fiesta.
So like I'm just visualizing like if I was at a Mexican pool party and I'm a racist feng shui consultant, you have to think that the music would be the first signal, like kind of like going on in the background, and she's just sitting there kind
it's
of
like a mariachi band.
Yeah, she's like the energy's a little bit off, you know, like Bad Bunny's playing like in the background. She's like, all right, I'll let this go. And then she sees someone take a chip and dip it in guacamole. And she's like, oh my God, if I see one more
Deep
Mexican.
breath.
Yes.
Deep breath.
Deep breath. Deep breath.
Let me keep reading my Colleen Hoover book.
Yes. And
Stay
then
calm.
yes. And then next thing you know, someone starts speaking in Spanish. And that is when like someone's
Rage.
like,
She just saw
"Hey,
red."
¿cómo está?" And she literally, I cannot have this.
Not near me.
Has to go.
My feng shui. It's ruined.
Throwing off her entire energy.
Damn.
What does her house look like? That's what I want to know.
Yeah,
like,
I
it's
wanna
just
know.
like pearl white. Like
Yeah.
like the furniture. And she just paints everything white. Like her furniture like that. I have a brown furniture. I don't even know what you call that. Like
This
a
is-
desk/TV thing.
TV
She just
stand.
she bought that and she just like paints it. Just everything just goes over. Doesn't matter if it's a piece of furniture or painting. Like she goes
Yeah.
over her paintings in pure white.
The
It's like a
lamps, like,
$500,000 Picasso.
everything.
She's like, it's gotta go.
Gotta go.
Yeah.
Everything must be white. It's my
Yeah.
favorite color.
Yeah.
I have no transition besides that I love that lady and her feng shui, I guess. But
Yeah. I mean, look, I'll say she's
I'm not
committed
gonna
to
hire
her
her
job.
for fear of my girlfriend's life. I might
No.
never see my girlfriend again
Yeah.
if this lady came over. But you know what? She's got a clientele.
Yeah.
You got to find your niche, people.
Yeah. Yeah. She's committed to her job. I'll say that.
Indeed.
And she should definitely never travel south of Colorado if that is pissing her
She
off.
should just keep traveling inward
Yeah.
to the center of the country.
Just Colorado's almost as center as you could get.
Is it?
She's got
Maybe just go north to like North Dakota.
Or go to Scandinavia. Like that's her clientele. Like Scandinavia, Colorado, South Africa. Don't even think about any other part of
what
Africa.
is the whitest like place on earth?
Let's see.
Yeah. I never really thought about that. Do. This is very important information because we need to help this lady clearly.
The top 3 countries with the highest percentage white population are Iceland, Poland, and Finland.
Okay. I could have guessed that actually.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I've been to Iceland.
Yeah.
It's very white.
Yeah, my girlfriend, who is black, went to Iceland and everyone loved her there because they obviously knew that she was not from there.
How many people did she meet? Like, what percentage do you think were meeting their first black person that met your girlfriend in Iceland?
I don't know. It's a good question. Probably a decent amount, I would guess. I mean, it's like Iceland, the towns that get tourists, though,
Yeah.
I'm sure see like
Yeah.
black people or people of color.
I just remember I was in a taxi cab with some guy in Reykjavik, and he told me that there were 330,000 people in Iceland, and 300,000 of them live in Reykjavik.
Yeah.
So, like, if you're a white family just, like, in a farm in some bumfuck nowhere in
Mhm.
Iceland, like, you don't know, like, you probably don't know there are any other races. Like, black,
Never
brown,
seen 'em.
Asian. Yeah, like, it's like you see anyone, and you're just like, oh my God, like,
Mm-hmm.
I saw a movie of you once, but that was the
You
only
like go up and touch them.
Yeah.
Are you real?
Yeah. Yeah, like if I don't know if your girlfriend went to countryside Iceland, but I bet you they'd be like, I'm hallucinating if
Maybe
they saw.
she had a great time there. She absolutely loved it there.
It
and
was
the
fun as
people.
shit,
So
for sure.
I guess, I mean, that tells you there that if people in Iceland who are so fucking white, their feng shui isn't ruined by my
Yeah.
girlfriend showing up,
Then
then-
this lady's got to step up her game.
she's got to figure something else out.
And she's got to get better racial insults than go back to Denver.
Yeah.
Like, if you say, like, if I told any minority that go back to Denver, they would be so confused because, like, they hear that go back to and they're like getting ready to be mad, and then I say
Mhm.
Denver and they're just like, wait,
They're like, I'm
that-
not even from
Yeah,
there.
yeah. And you're like, like, that doesn't seem, isn't that like the snowboard city? And I'm just like, it is, go back there. Boom. And then I just walk away, and that's what I would do if I was a Feng Shui consultant, I guess.
This conversation has made me just like thirst for a margarita.
Do you want a Topo Chico?
Yeah. You know what? Yeah, but yeah, I want guacamole and a margarita now.
Well, luckily we have a Mexican restaurant across the street. Maybe we could
Shout
check it out
out.
after the podcast.
Absolutely, I would love that. But on to a different story.
Yeah.
And this is kind of a jam-packed story, so I have to do it in parts.
Okay.
And you may have, and listeners may have heard of this person by now. This is a man named Bryan Johnson. He's 45, and he's on like a quest to preserve his body / like de-age his body.
I heard about this guy.
Exactly. So I'm going to start with an article that came out by the New York Post. It came out in January, and then we'll kind of travel down some paths because there's been some updates in his.
Hit me with it.
Yeah. So the headline for this first article from January says tech mogul Bryan Johnson, who's 45, spends $2 million per year to get an 18-year-old body.
Okay.
Mind you, he does not look 18. I mean, he still might have work to do, but I'll show you a picture if I can find. I need to find. Okay, so I'll show you a before picture. Before, he just looks like any other dude, right? Like we've probably seen.
And that's before he started any
Yes,
of the
this
treatments.
is before
Okay.
anything.
I would say he looks, like a dude in his mid-late 30s.
Yeah,
Normal.
he looks like a
Yeah.
normal age.
Yeah.
And this is him now, straight up looking like a Volturi vampire from Twilight.
Yeah, I'll say.
That's what $2 million can get you, people.
He looks shinier.
He
for
looks
sure, and thinner.
Yes, he definitely. Well, I can go on about why he may be thinner. So apparently, he only eats from 6 a.m. to 11 a.m. He has dinner by 11 a.m.
So does he do separate meals or just one meal a day?
He does separate meals. He wakes up and he takes about like 20 supplements. Like so many supplements. So
I do take a lot also, but I don't look anywhere near as shiny as that guy. So I have to reconsider my supplements.
that's what I'm wondering. Yeah, like his skin did get a lot better.
Yeah. It's hard to tell if it's just like in a lot of these before and after photos, it's a jacked person that's bloated, and then they just take a picture of themselves in the morning and they're like extra jacked because they haven't eaten or drinking anything yet. So it could have been the lighting in the first video. He's definitely lighter in that photo for sure.
Yeah. Well, he might not even go outside anymore. I don't even know. But I will say he says that his goal is to eventually have all his major organs, including his brain, liver, kidneys, teeth, skin, hair, penis, and rectum, functioning as if they were in his late teens. Because you need to include the penis and rectum. Because you can't have an 18-year-old liver and like teeth and then have a 50-year-old penis, that what a turnoff.
You can't, yeah. Imagine.
He's so disappointed, right?
Well, but also like it would also be weird if imagine you're hooking up with a 70-year-old dude and you have to really use your imagination for this because it's old and a dude.
Wait, let me focus then. All right.
It's old and a dude. But like the rest of his body looks like kind of 80, but his penis is 18.
Whoa!
Would you not be like, would that be weird? Like also, it's a lesbian looking at a penis, so you'd be like weird in the first place. But like the fact that his penis looked like it was born 50 years after the rest of his body, I feel like that would be weird. Because it sounds like all of his organs are not moving at the same pace. So he's like trying to get them all to catch up to 18. So he's like going to be in a weird situation eventually where he's like, if some get it, like, or if his penis lags behind, if he has like a 60-year-old penis with like a 20-year-old body.
Oh, no. What a horror movie.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I think I would be alarmed either way. Like if your body looks 18 and then you take your pants off and that's like you need Viagra and it's looking old, your pubes are gray. I'm like, whoa, that's weird. And I'm also concerned if you look 80. I guess I would be happier. I don't know. I guess somebody might be happier that the penis is functioning at an 18-year-old level.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess like you know how people say if you're not attracted to someone, you put a bag over their face and you look at the rest of their body if they're like a butterface.
Mm-hmm.
In his case, if he had a perfect penis but a old body,
Yeah.
you'd need like a full body bag.
That's what I'm
you need
thinking.
Skims.
Yes.
Like a full body Skims.
That's what I was thinking because I was like, I would be grossed out by his like saggy, like old men. I mean, listen, old men love ya, but like everybody when they get old, they start like sagging a bit. So you have like saggy man boobs, but then your penis is like perfect. I need to cover up the rest where it doesn't matter.
Imagine this guy is at a trucker stop with a glory hole. And there's another trucker there.
Wow, he's going to make a killing.
He's in the bathroom. There's another trucker next to him in the stall, and they do their code. Like, you know, they knock 3 times, and that means like they want to get into it.
Do you know the code? You've done this before?
3 times and a swipe and another 2 times.
Oh, good to know.
I haven't done it before, but I have been in a situation where I thought like another guy was waiting for something in the truck stop, like potentially wanted something from someone in the bathroom.
Interesting.
It wasn't drying his hands, wasn't washing up, just like kind of just like hanging out in the bathroom.
I would say your hunch is probably correct.
So I luckily, you know, I wasn't financially strapped at the time. You know, I didn't need any money, so I didn't even have to like ask any
didn't
questions
have to
like
consider
how much would you be willing?
What a privilege.
But imagine like I'm Bryan Johnson. I'm in the other stall. This guy knocks 3 times and I'm like, all right, that's the code. And I put my 18-year-old cock through the hole, and this guy sucks me off, finishes the job, and then he sees a 75-year-old guy walk out of the stall, and he's like, "What the fuck? Where did you come from?
Yeah,
your cock did not have a single wrinkle on it, and and the guy's like, yeah, I'm doing some anti-aging. Apparently, it doesn't work that well on my skin, but like my
works
dick
great
looks
for my
fucking
dick.
fantastic." And the guy's like, I guess whatever, you know.
Would be slightly mortifying, but I think you could move on with your day.
Yeah.
I mean, because you encountered the best part of that man.
Yeah. You're about to drive, you know, 22 hours to Phoenix, Arizona. You just sucked an 18-year-old cock. Like,
haven't done that in years.
Yeah. 100%. You just time traveled with cock. Like, that's basically what you did.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, to give some more, just because this is very layered, but so Bryan Johnson wakes up every morning at 5 a.m., takes 2 dozen supplements, works out for an hour, drinks green juice laced with creatine and collagen peptides, and brushes and flosses his teeth while rinsing with tea tree oil. I guess that's pretty normal. Before bedtime, Johnson wears glasses that block blue light for 2 hours. He also constantly monitors his vital signs and undergoes monthly medical procedures to maintain his results. He goes through like ultrasounds, MRIs, colonoscopies, blood tests. While sleeping, Bryan is hooked up to a machine that counts the number of nighttime erections that he has.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Because you got to make sure that 18-year-old penis is working the way it's supposed to.
So is he, I'm assuming he has the number of erections that a teenager gets as the baseline. And he's
That's
like,
what the goal
I need
is.
to get back to
And I'm going to show you this
17-year-old.
picture because this is where you really... Have you seen Twilight?
Dude, I feel like I'm looking...
Because that is a fucking vampire.
I feel like I'm looking at like a Edward Cullen with longer hair.
Well, here.
Edward Cullen's brother.
I will... Have you seen Twilight, though? Real question.
I have. The first one. Maybe
Oh my
part
God.
of the second one.
Oh my God. Well, does he not look literally like the leader of the Volturi?
Oh my God, yes.
They are identical twins.
So, like, did he stop going in the sun? Like, that's what
That's
I
what
want
I'm
to know.
saying. He
Like,
looks pale. He
Yeah.
looks so pale. I would assume that he probably is avoiding. I
For
don't think
aging
it's
purposes?
Yeah, exactly. I don't think it says anything in here about whether he avoids the sun, but I would assume that he wears a lot of sunscreen and probably does avoid.
But vitamin D is good for your immune system. If you get
You could take a supplement,
normal
though, right?
amount of sun. I guess so. But God, like, and constantly wearing monitors. So this guy's walking around with basically a super Whoop strap all the time. Like just something that's like counting his breath, his pulse, his blood levels, his oxygen intake. That must be so fucking stressful to just like constantly being able to check everything all the time.
He's got nothing better to do, I guess.
Yeah.
So he's like a mega millionaire.
So this is his job now, basically.
Yes.
Does he do anything besides track this stuff, or he's like retired, balling, and he was like, you know what I want to do in my retirement? Like become a hypochondriac, spend $2 million a year.
It's called Project Blueprint, I think. I'm pretty sure I'm right there. So he's like literally just making up his own science project for fun.
I feel like that is like a good way to feel like you're rich without actually being rich would be to create a project for yourself. Because like you hear like Project SpaceX or whatever like Jeff Bezos's company is. Like you hear like all these different projects from billionaires.
Yes.
Like as thousandaires, we should just start like Project Teapot. And we just start talking about it at cocktail parties, and we're just like, yeah, I started this thing, like it's called Project Teapot. I am tasting all of the teas in the Middle East by the end of 2025, and I'm going to check how that affects my erections and my pulse and my blood pressure. And people are like, oh my God, like
I'm
Project
sold.
Teapot. Like,
just with you saying that, I'm like, whoa.
yeah, it's like,
let me know how it goes.
You either work for the CIA or you're a billionaire. It's like Project Blue Book, Project Teapot. Like, I'm going to start doing that just to feel more rich. Like,
I think a lot of New Yorkers already do that.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Particularly around the lower end of Manhattan. I think that might happen a lot.
Yeah.
But an update. So this article is from July 2023. I don't have an article in between what I just talked about and this one, but I do know that Bryan Johnson, as a part of this project, used his teenage son as his personal blood boy. And they were swapping plasma. So basically he was taking blood from his son.
Yeah.
His 18-year-old son. And then putting it in him.
This guy's a vampire.
That's what I'm saying. And now he's super pale. He looks like a Volturi member. He's literally taking his son's blood.
This guy could be one of the vampires that I met in New Orleans. Did I ever tell you about this?
No.
So I was in New Orleans 2 Halloweens ago, and I met a vampire and a vampire donor. And there are over 300 active vampires in New Orleans, like legit, like they walk around and they're like, I'm a vampire. And our tour guide told us about a vampire bar where a lot of these vampires hang out. It's a speakeasy, and we went up. It was above this jazz club. We were like trying to like, check it out. Just like,
Who
it's
were
like
you
a
with?
fun. I was with Julie, my girlfriend.
Okay.
And we're just like,
you two were like, you know what? It's a great idea to maybe die tonight.
we thought it was like that, like it can't be like it's not gonna be an actual vampire thing. Like there'll be like vampire paraphernalia, but we didn't really have any expectations. There's just like this cool door in the back of Fritzl's Jazz Club, I think, and then like we went upstairs, just like something cool to check out, more like a touristy thing, and we walked in, and about 10 minutes into us sitting at the bar, I go into another room and I see a guy that looks pale as fuck. Like the look that you'd have if you just gave too much blood. Like skin is like pulled tightly against his face.
Yeah.
He's pale as fuck. And there's another woman sitting across from him who was the vampire.
Okay.
And apparently the vampires in New Orleans, they have an agreement. It's like a contract because people also volunteer to be donors, like willfully. and they legit will like bite and suck out blood and drink the blood of other people. So like the fact that this guy is taking blood from his son and then putting it into his own body, like it doesn't say how he does it. Like he could be vampirically obtaining the samples from his son. Like this is just a cut. This would be what I would do if I was a vampire and I didn't want people to find out I was a vampire. I'd be like, I'm just gonna front as a billionaire who's doing anti-aging stuff. It's like when I don't age, I have an excuse for why I'm not aging.
Yeah, well, I think we're onto something because the newest headline was that now he's trying to throw people off of him. He's saying like, oh, it doesn't work. Like, oh, the blood like transfers. It's not working.
Okay.
I'm like,
did he give a reason why, or just like it's not?
It's just, I guess, over time with his studies.
Yeah.
So the reason he started it was because there was an actual study with mice, like all science usually starts with mice, and it did show some benefits of like maybe de-aging these mice. But I'm like, a mouse, how long does a mouse even live for one?
Yeah,
so I don't think a
years.
lifespan of a mouse can be that comparable to that of a human. So he was trying this because based on that mouse study, it did show some signs that it worked.
Yeah.
So then he was trying this, and it was actually 3-way. So his dad was involved as well. So it was
Really?
like a train. They were a train of blood.
A blood train.
Yeah. Like it was son to Bryan Johnson to Bryan Johnson's dad.
Yeah.
Like they were all swapping. So, I guess he's trying to turn his dad into a vampire as well.
Could you imagine if someone invites you to their hotel room for a train and you're thinking it's going to be one thing, and then you walk in and they're fucking syringes and they're like
been
we're
a
going
long
to take your
time since
blood
I've
now.
gotten my back
like,
blown out, but
yeah.
I'm so pumped.
Yeah,
And then you get there and they just like drain some of your blood.
Yeah.
What a bummer.
Yeah. Like I would rather be trained in the traditional sense than have my blood taken and exchanged with a son, his father, and his grandfather. That
It's
is
a
just
little
like
too
some
intimate.
weird. Yeah, that's like that is like all of the things that celebrities are rumored to do for anti-aging, just like wrapped into one. Like taking baby's blood and like smearing it on their face.
Yeah.
And like using
Eating placentas, all those things.
I think like, is this guy doing actual research, or is he just reading TMZ anti-aging articles and been like, that's how they do it?
He has a team of 30 doctors. Granted,
Wow.
you can get a doctorate and not be the most ethical person.
Yeah.
Like, let's just be real here. Just because you have doctor in your title doesn't mean that you're like a genius of all things.
Exactly. And I tell that to my girlfriend all the time.
I know,
I'm like,
'cause she
don't
needs
think
to
you're
be
smarter.
humbled.
Don't think you're smarter than me because you went to school for 9 years to be a neuroscientist.
I do
Like,
the same thing to
I've
my
recorded
girlfriend.
100 podcast episodes at least. Like I have a doctorate in
I know a little bit about a lot of things.
Yeah.
I'm a genius.
Just because you specialize doesn't mean you're smarter than us podcasters.
Exactly right. And I say the same thing to Demi, and I'm glad that we share a sentiment. It's why we hit it off from the jump, because we were like, you know what? Our girlfriend's so dumb.
Yeah.
Dumbest people we know.
Well, yeah, it's like I do it for charity. Like I date my girlfriend. Like she was kind of like walking around, and I was like, can she speak? Like, does she know where she's going? And I just like started to help her out and like function in society. And like 3 years later, it's hard to communicate with her because she's so dumb.
Ugh.
But
It's so funny. This is funny that we could say this because they're literally the smartest people that we know.
Yeah, 100%.
I constantly think my girlfriend's the smartest person I know. But
that's why I feel comfortable calling
Yeah.
her dumb, because she has a super brain, and like you need to bring him down a peg.
they must be humbled. And, maybe Demi and your girlfriend could team up. Is your girlfriend's name Julie?
Julie, yeah.
Okay, they could team up and now there could be 32 doctors on Bryan Johnson's team.
100%.
So he claims that all this has given him the heart of a 37-year-old. So what's that? Like 9 years younger than he is now.
So he like based on the experiments and
That's what he
data, he has
says.
the heart of a 37-year-old.
None of the doctors are telling me this.
Does he have a penis update?
No, unfortunately. So the heart of a 37-year-old, the skin of a 28-year-old, which I can't argue with that. After you see those pictures,
Yeah, not bad.
can't argue. And the lung capacity and fitness of an 18-year-old, and I'm gonna put penis under that umbrella. Fitness.
He should have a website where, okay, so like there used to be a website, I don't know if it exists, but someone would just post Jonah Hill's current weight with pictures because he's went up and down so much.
Yeah.
And it's like you could go to the website and it would tell you what Jonah Hill currently looks like.
Mm-hmm.
He should do this with every part of his body. Like he should have like, this is where my penis is at right now.
Yeah.
Like to have a photo and give the age. Like my penis is currently 27 years old. My skin is currently 29 years old. My heart is 32 years old. And just have like a constant, like a website, a Bryan Johnson tracker.
It's like I can't really argue when I'm looking at these pictures because he says that he trashed his body for like 23 years, which, you know, I want to know how many blood transfusions do I need to eliminate all the Taco Bell I've eaten in my life?
When did you start eating Taco Bell?
Lord knows, probably when's too young to start eating Taco Bell. Whenever that is, that's probably when I was eating Taco Bell.
I would say, because like, what do they say? If you smoke for a long time, but then you stop smoking for 10 years, then it's like you never smoked at all.
Mm-hmm.
I would say Taco Bell, if you eat it like people who smoke 2 packs a day, let's say you have Taco Bell 3 times a day.
Damn.
If you eat Taco Bell 3
My
times a day.
My toilet would be just eradicated.
You wouldn't, yeah. So I was going to say, you wouldn't even have a toilet.
Yeah.
You just have like one of those
A
Japanese
hole in the
holes.
ground.
You're squatting. Your quads would be unreal because you just have to squat and shit.
Yeah,
all the
I know.
time.
You complimented me on my leg muscles just the other day.
100%.
And that, I didn't tell you why, but that's why.
Because, yeah, the shit squats, they
Yes.
really build up. I would say if you didn't go, let's say like 10 years without any Taco Bell, it would just go back to normal if you were eating it 3 times a day. But if you were doing the Bryan Johnson treatment, maybe it would be like 2 years instead of 10.
Might be worth it.
Yeah.
Do you eat Taco Bell? Damn. Yes. That sounded like a Taco Bell yes.
That was I love Taco Bell. Like I've never been to Taco Bell and I've not liked it, but I haven't eaten it in years.
Okay, so you could donate some of your blood to me. And I
Yeah,
can start
but you get a
shaving
lot
off.
of Chick-fil-A blood.
Oh,
It
okay.
would just be like swapping Chick-fil-A blood with Taco Bell
Okay,
blood.
so you're a Chick-fil-A guy.
I love Chick-fil-A.
Wait, where the hell is a Chick-fil-A? That's the one problem with New York is
Long
like
Island.
Yeah, Chick-fil-A's aren't. There is one in Harlem now.
Okay.
Which is great for my Chick-fil-A needs, but there's not a lot of it's like there's really not a lot of
So
Chick-fil-A.
in college we had a Chick-fil-A. Like I would say 90% of my Chick-fil-A consumption has come between the years of 2012 and 2016.
Sounds about
Because
right.
in college we had a Chick-fil-A. Also, when I was living back home in Long Island, they had a Chick-fil-A. They opened it up there. But it's been a long time since I've been eating it consistently. So my blood would be okay, but it wouldn't be terribly overrun with Chick-fil-A. So like
Okay.
I would say it could there would be like a lot of butcher box in there. Like I have butcher box meats
Oh.
from
Shout out, waiting for an endorsement.
yeah, that you're gonna. We'll edit that out until they.
Yeah,
until
we don't want no free endorsements for you, butcher block or
100%.
butchers. What is it? Butchers box?
Blocks, yeah.
Okay.
Butcher box. They just send you frozen meat every
Yeah.
month. I have a lot of eggs. I have a lot of pasta. I mean, I would say my eating habits are like 70-30. Like 70% of the time, I'll eat pretty healthy. 30% of the time, I'm like, this isn't the best, but fuck it, you know?
Yeah, my diet is like total. It's a mess because it's either I'm eating vegetarian because my partner is vegetarian, which I would say is super healthy.
Yeah.
But then the next day while she's gone at work, I'll start to crave like McDonald's.
Mm.
And then I'm like, I need a quarter pounder right fucking now.
Yeah.
And I listen, I'm still alive. I think I look great. I'm going to keep eating my quarter pounders until I start to look like a 46-year-old, and then I'll try to reverse all of this.
I was going to say, you have time. Like,
yeah.
If
he wrecked his body for 23 years. I am almost 28, but I just think I have more time.
Yeah, you have at least another decade to go, which will, by that time, we'll definitely have at least like 1 billion in subscribers by that point.
So I can definitely do Project Blueprint Point 2.
Yeah, 100%.
2.0.
Yes, we're gonna do it. It's gonna be a thing.
I think like you already kind of look like a vampire. Like you could, and I mean that in a flattering way, because I mean your skin is like a light complexion. You have light eyes, the hair.
So
I mean you're kind of on this path here.
So I went to the rooftop of the Standard Hotel. It has a name. I forget what it's like an L something. But I went to the rooftop for a party once, just like meet friends for drinks, and the lady who was checking my ID called me a True Blood outtake.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
she's like,
see
you
it.
look like you're an outtake on True Blood. And at that point, I hadn't seen the show. So I was like, all right, vampire. I got that part. And then I just forgot about it. But now I'm like remembering that moment where I was wearing all black. I was like black t-shirt, black boots, black jeans. So I could definitely see it.
Yeah. How are your eyes right now?
I can't see anything.
Anybody that's watching, like the sun, when we took a bathroom break, we adjusted the blinds and stuff, because when Zach sat down, the sun was in his eyes so bad. I was like, you're going to need to wear sunglasses for the rest of the episode. And then he adjusted it, and now we're about at closing time of the podcast. The sun is back in his eyes. You're going to start burning, like your vampire-ness.
The sun from this podcast has aged me 24 years.
Yeah, you're going to have a lot of work to do,
for
man.
Sure. I think if I got sun like this for every podcast and you ate Taco Bell every single day for the next 10 years, I would look worse because of how strong the sun is right now.
And you're going to start talking like Kim Kardashian.
Kim Kardashian.
That's right.
Give me a Marlboro Red. Oh, yeah.
Absolutely right.
Well, thank you guys for tuning in.
Of
I
course,
hope this has been an absolute blast. I can't see, but I know you're listening, and I hope you're watching.
Yeah.
I love you guys.
He's starting to get a little bit of a heat stroke now. So
I'm passing out. I'm
we're
losing
just gonna end the podcast.
Yeah. We'll see you guys
all right,
next time.
yeah. See ya.
Peace.